What's going on, everyone? This is All New Nerds Podcast, and we're breaking down the newest Mandalorian episode.
Yeah!
It was an alright episode. It was Chapter 15. It was directed by Rick Famuyiwa. He also did Chapter 2 and Chapter 6.
It might have been butchered, but yeah, whatever.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
There's a good chance. But
continue.
Yeah, and I thought it was a pretty good episode. For episode 7, the penultimate episode of the season, maybe it was a little lackluster in some places, but I don't know. I think it did a lot. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, samesies, dude. Bill Burr, we are obviously Boston natives, or New England natives, so Bill Burr is someone that I'm a big fan of personally, because also I love stand-up and all that stuff, but yeah, and I'm glad that he came back. I was very excited. It came out of nowhere, though, last episode. Yeah. I was very shocked, but he can act so well. He's really good. Bill Burr. Ooh.
He surprised me, man.
Yeah.
He really surprised me with this episode. I didn't love his character in The Prisoner. I mean, I thought he was all right. I didn't think there was anything more to him.
Yeah.
But he really stood out this episode. And he was a great, I don't want to say contrast, but he was a great, he had really good chemistry with Din Djarin or Pedro Pascal. He really knew the character was written in a way where he knew how to get under his skin. Mm-hmm. And I thought the two worked really well together.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I do wish that this episode wasn't episode 7, because we're one episode away, or now we're in the finale, this week. So This is finale week, which is sad. And wow, as it went by fast. So weird.
I had nothing to look forward to, man.
I know.
After this episode, nothing. For me, it all depends on how this next episode goes, whether that last episode was worth taking the 7th slot out of the 8. But I don't know. I did enjoy the episode thoroughly. I thought everything about it was pretty good. It was well written, well directed.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff that we'll get into in the breakdown.
Yes.
So what do you think? Get into it.
Yeah. It was all right. It was a lot of fun. This episode was a lot of fun. I was definitely enjoying it. You can watch the reaction that we posted on our channel if you want to check that out. Yeah, I had a good time. Let's break it down.
All right. So this is Chapter 15, The Believer. And it was directed again by Rick Famuyiwa. I'm going to butcher that every time.
I don't know how you pronounce it, so.
Yeah, me neither. But he did a couple other episodes. He did the Prisoner episode, and he also did Chapter 2, I believe. Yeah. Oh, no, he did. Wait. Chapter 6 is the Prisoner episode?
Yep.
Then yes. Yeah. He did Chapter 6 and Chapter 2.
I loved episode 6. Felt like Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Clone Wars episode, but yeah.
So yeah, we get right into the Bill Burr stuff, and he's on the the prison planet or whatever, and it's just a bunch of scrappers or something like that. They're all just doing forced labor basically.
Yeah, well, we see a bunch of ties and all just scrap metal that they're harvesting and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And so yeah, he's working on a TIE fighter, and a droid comes up, which we saw in the Prisoner episode. It's just a New Republic droid.
Yep. And
he's just telling him, and he keeps repeating that he's got new orders, and that he needs to follow Cara Dune, who I thought was well written in this episode compared to some of her other episodes.
This was probably,
I don't know what it was about her.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't have a super pivotal role in the episode, but this was probably my favorite episode that features her, that she's been in. I'm trying to make it make sense. This is my favorite episode that Cara Dune has been written in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I thought her and Bill and Miggs Mayfeld is his name. I keep calling him Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, I know.
It's Bill Burr in space.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
They work off each other pretty well too, because they're kind of opposite sides, which you eventually find out they're not so different.
Right.
But yeah, he's reluctant to go with her, but Cara Dune's like, "You're coming with me, come on." And so they get it. You see Slave One in the distance.
Oof.
And out walks Fennec and Boba Fett with a new paint job. What do you think about that?
Looks snazzy. Looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
The matte green and the red.
I just
and it
feel
just looks
bad.
so nice.
Yeah, I feel bad for like the customizers for like Black Series and like all that stuff, because they've like, I've seen a bunch of work on Boba's armor from last episode, and that is like the new shiny painted one that everybody wants to do. So yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, it looks really good. I do like that matte finish that they had with like the that he had with the green and the red and stuff. So looked good.
Do you think he just had like paint sitting around in Slave One? Or do you think they made, like,
probably.
a pit stop?
He probably
He's like, I have to go get some paint.
No, yeah, I did. Oh no, I doubt he did that. He probably did it on the Slave One while they were probably had some laying around, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess, but yeah.
And so I remember Miggs sees Boba and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were some other guy." And then out walks Din Djarin, Mando. Yeah. And he's all worried.
He's
and
all
then Mando
shy.
explains to him.
So shy.
No, I'd be scared too, man. Mando in that prisoner episode, he was like, what's the analogy I'm looking for?
He's like some Batman. He had some Batman energy. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they bring Miggs into the Slave One, which looks awesome, the inside. It's on a gyro and it's rotating and there's all the backgrounds and stuff. We haven't seen that, I don't think.
Never, yeah.
We've only seen the cockpit.
The toys, like the toys of the Slave One, they have had that kind of feature, like the Lego ones and all that stuff. And it was really cool to see in live action, like that kind of gyroscope kind of thing, because it's confusing how like how the Slave One like kind of takes off and it has to like kind of flip over and how does that all work? But yeah, that was so cool to see, but yeah.
So they explained to Miggs the mission, and he catches word that they're going up against Moff Gideon. He's like, "Nope, let me back down." And they're like, "Well, we can't let you do that." So he tells them they need to go to an Imperial base on the planet of Morak. I don't think Morak has previously been in canon.
Yeah.
Or Legends. I couldn't find anything on it.
I don't. Yeah, I looked briefly. I didn't see anything. Yeah, I mean, can I talk about like what I think about Morak, or is there anything else? Okay. So it's not that I'm getting tired of it. I'm just like, I want like new landscapes, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because that was like Earth again. Tython was pretty much.
Yeah, well, it was just like a forest planet.
Tython was California, and then and then this was like just
so was Corvus.
Jungle. Yeah, but, that's why I think it even just feels more of the Camino theory that like they've been doing. I don't know if it's purposeful, but like these kind of like Earth-like landscapes and planets, and they're kind of saving a big budget for the finale episode where they'll hopefully go to Camino. I'm hoping, but
yeah, maybe.
You know, but
yeah,
it was all right. But yeah, well, what else? We
go right into Morak, and again, it's like this just lush like foresty planet. Yeah, and instantly from there you kind of know what this episode's gonna be. It's gonna be the get in and get out, like. We're not going to get into deep lore or anything, which I was a little worried about. But again, by the end of the episode, I was like, hey, you know what? That was a great episode. Yeah. So I'm cool with how it went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was going to be going in. I thought it was going to be a Prison Break episode. I thought maybe we'd spend the whole time breaking him out. But that was literally done in the first minute. So
right.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of standing on a ridge getting the landscape, and Miggs kind of explains that they got to get in, go to a terminal so they can get the location of Moff Gideon. And so basically Kara's like, "Okay, I'm coming with you." And he says, "Well, you can't do that because the second they get like your genetic scan, you're done. Right. Like they're going to find you." And so he kind of goes around, he asks Fennec, and he's like, she's like, they'll definitely recognize me.
Yeah, because she's wanted.
I like Boba kind of has a little thing where he says, let's just say they'll recognize my face,
right.
kind of alluding. I think that's alluding to like the clones.
Yeah,
and like
the
fact that someone would
clones,
be like, that's a clone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Boba Fett's a pretty renowned bounty hunter too.
Yeah, he has close ties with the Empire, obviously.
I was kind of wishing more people would know who Boba Fett is. Like, I kind of wish like either Kara or I thought Miggs was about to be like, is that Boba Fett? Like, I thought you died. Like, I always thought Boba Fett was like this really renowned bounty hunter.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's like infamous, I guess. Maybe just to us, but yeah, no, I that's a good point. Yeah, I feel like he'd be better known, especially I thought Din would know because he's part of like the bounty hunter guild.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't know. That's very interesting.
Like, imagine when he saw Cobb Vanth's armor and he's like, Boba Fett. Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But, oh well, maybe Boba Fett's just not as like. He's probably more well known in like the core worlds and stuff as opposed to like.
Probably more well known to like us.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting though, but yeah.
They decide that Miggs can't go in alone because they still don't 100% trust him. So Mando's like, I'm going in and I'm not taking off my helmet. Because obviously if they see a Mandalorian in there, right, they're going to know it's not Empire.
Yeah.
So yeah, we cut to them getting into like the truck thing with the Rhydonium, that's what it's carrying.
What's with
like
the
a highly
wheels?
Explosive wheels.
Why are we going back to
wheels?
If
we can get boats, we can get wheels. Yeah,
what happened?
Wheels
what happened? Why are we going back to wheels? Yeah, we have hovercrafts, land speeders.
Because Wheels is dope, and Wheels sells toys and looks cool.
But it's not Star Wars, man.
But
Come
it looks
on.
Cool.
I can't.
We've seen Wheels in Star Wars.
What's the last? I literally cannot think of like a land craft with like wheels.
I mean, most of them have like really like inefficient legs that move at 2 miles per hour.
Yeah, but that's Star Wars. I don't know. Whatever. I just yeah. Wheels. Come on.
I didn't think it was too unfitting. I thought it
no, I didn't. Fine. I mean, it was something I noticed, but you know.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, and so yeah, the truck has a bunch of different parts, and it's all filled with Rhydonium, like a super explosive material, basically, or super explosive substance.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know what you call it. And so Bill Burr's putting on his disguise, and then when we see Mando in the like truck stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, so that's like it's like a repainted like hover tank armor from Rogue One, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we've seen that. It
kind of reminded me of some like First Order stuff.
Yeah, no, we've seen that armor before. It's just it was white, obviously. It was in Rogue One. Yeah, I can't remember if they gave him an explicit name, like that kind of trooper, but I mean, just like I don't know. But yeah, the other ones were called that are painted white. They're called hover tank troopers. That's from Rogue One, but yeah. No, it was pretty funny, and you know, at first I was like, oh, that's how they're gonna do like Din in this episode. It's like, oh, like what did we like build up to? Like, is this the build up for kind of like the whole thing with him not taking off his armor or his helmet? And I kind of like after he put on the armor, I was like, oh, he's gonna have to take his helmet off at some point. But it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny to see him in a different set of armor and like him being very uncomfortable and also very awkward later in the episode. But we'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, it was different.
It was something. Sure, yeah, but we get some as they're kind of driving the truck. We get some like really good scenes between Bill Burr and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, very good writing. Like, yeah,
Miggs just keeps trying to get under his skin, and he keeps just talking
challenging
about
him.
how like,
yeah,
he's like, wow, you really like. He's just kind of pointing out how stupid his rules are.
Yeah, I feel like that was like
at some point.
Like a stand-up set that he would have in like the Star Wars universe.
I've seen a lot of people
what's
say
with
like
Mandalorians? That. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was funny, but yeah.
And he also kind of brings up some interesting points about how like to people like this that live on the planet, because we go across just like a little village, it's like Empire, New Republic makes no difference to them. Like they're all just someone above them, someone ruling over them, telling them what to do.
Right.
I liked how in these scenes, like at first Mando kind of wasn't talking a lot, and then right when he got under his skins, he would, and you could see his eyes through the visor.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there's any real shots in the Mando helmet that you can see his eyes.
No, it's
yeah.
No, you can't. But yeah, no, I noticed that too.
I thought that was
cool.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything like notable before this, but when they were going through that like little village part, there was this like weird emphasis on like one of these like villager children looking up at Din in that tank, and Din was looking back, and they just kind of like stayed on that for like a couple seconds, and I was like, I don't know what that meant.
I did notice.
Did you kind of like?
Yeah, I thought it was about, like, maybe just like this kid's. I thought it was just like they chose one of the people and were like, this is how they feel about the Empire. Like, and he was just looking up at him like with distaste almost.
I guess so.
But I don't know. I don't think
that's a good guess.
No,
that's a good idea. I think that's probably
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, we get some cool action in this episode, which is always fun with these pirates. They're blowing up the Rhydonium trucks, and I mean they're pirates, but I kind of took them more of natives that wanted the Empire out.
Yeah, so that's how I took it as well. Yeah. Yep.
So they came in these really cool like speeders, and
like little skiffs from like kind of looked like Jabba's like skiffs from the Jedi. Cool. Yeah.
I couldn't get the aliens race. I couldn't find it.
I don't know, to be honest with you. But looked cool,
Yeah. So yeah, they come on. They're trying to blow up the Rhydonium. And we have to see Mando fight without his Beskar, and he doesn't have a blaster either because that one for some reason like fizzles out or something.
Yeah, that was interesting. Because he, not that Din was reliant on his armor, but he would do a lot of blocks and obviously would deflect blaster bolts. Obviously, we've seen that so much throughout the season, just him like getting shot like 50 times over and not like a scratch on the armor. But he would try to like in the combat scenes, he would try to like lift up his arm like it was like a club or something. It would hit his wrist gauntlet. And it would like shatter a little bit, and his armor started shattering because it wasn't Beskar, and he was like trying to block with the armor pieces. So I thought that was pretty funny. And he was like, "Oh, this isn't working." The plasto would just yeah. So that was cool.
And so that was a big skirmish, and it he's getting beat up, but he's beating them pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
he's still
eventually
a good fighter.
He got held down. They kept trying to rip his helmet off, and then one of the pirates eventually does get a thermal detonator on the explosives, but Mando is able to get up, throws the thermal detonator at him, and they explode, but more follow behind.
And
it was
like 5 more like skiffs just came out of like that smoke with a bunch of those guys,
that was so like
that's exactly how I reacted. Dude. I was like,
he was messed up at this point, but he still stood up because he's a Mandalorian, man. That's what he does. And but before they could do anything to Mando, 2 TIE fighters swoop down, and the music swells up. First time you ever probably root for the Empire.
Yeah, I cheered for the Empire. I was like, woo!
They just blast the pirates out of air.
Yeah, no, that was this episode. Yeah, like a little bit. Not it. They tried to I feel like they tried to a little bit try to sympathize the Empire a tiny bit, which is pretty interesting. Which is a take that we haven't really seen. We've kind of seen it with Finn in the sequels, but we all know how that went. And that was interesting, and it happens more later in the episode. But yeah, that was a cool part. The TIE fighters coming in.
Yeah, and so they start going over the bridge, and everyone's just congratulating them.
Yeah.
That's probably the coolest thing a stormtrooper's ever done. Yeah, and they're all just, and they all salute, and Mig salutes back at them.
Yeah, and we see Scarif troopers, which is sick.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why they were stationed there. Thought that was interesting, but anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows, yeah.
But
And so yeah, they get in, they get out, and they're all just still being like, everyone's cheering for them.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
It was an interesting little moment.
But when the action was all happening, I was like, dang, these like guys deserve a raise. Like they're like
risking their lives.
Ever been this capable.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they see the terminal in like a little mess hall area, and Miggs walks in and he sees an Imperial officer, and now this Imperial officer is played by Valen Hess. Or no, sorry, his name is Valen Hess. He's played by Richard Brake.
Yeah.
He was in Batman Begins.
Yep. He was Joe Chill.
31. He was in some other stuff too.
Yeah, he was Joe Chill. But, he was the one who shot Bruce's parents.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
So he was like his commanding officer at the time when Miggs was in the Empire as the sharpshooter. So that was pretty interesting. We get but yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Right. And so yeah, he goes he's basically like, we can't do it. Like he's going to recognize me.
Yeah.
And Mando wants to do it, but he says we can't. Like you're going to have to take off your helmet.
Yeah.
For some reason it needs a facial scan. And it's I don't know. It doesn't matter if you're Imperial or not. It just needs to know
very
human,
Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. Or I saw someone compared it to like a CAPTCHA. You know?
Yeah. Like I'm not a robot.
Yeah. So I guess it's just what a Star Wars CAPTCHA is. But and yeah, so this says a lot about how connected Mando is to Grogu, because he does it. He walks in.
He sacrifices.
He tries the facial scan once, and it builds up a lot of tension as it's like. Like it alerts that it's not working.
Yeah. Did you well, let me ask you this: how did you feel, like about like this being the moment where Din finally takes his helmet off, like in front of people? I
don't think it's the moment.
Okay.
But I think it is
you think it's gonna happen again?
An early moment. Well, because he still after this is still keeping his helmet on around his friends.
Right.
Like he did it because he had to do it. You know. I think it's a great way to do it. I've seen some debate just because it shows how, like, it's kind of built up a bit. In the back of his mind, he's probably been thinking about how Bo-Katan is and that she takes her helmet off. And he knows that a bunch of other Mandalorians take their helmet off. He's had a lot of questions, I imagine.
He's like, I'm gonna cult.
And so now, yeah. And now that it comes down to it, like, he loves Grogu, apparently. And he needs to save him. Yeah. And this is, according to him, or as far as he thinks, the only way to get it done. And so, yeah, he takes his helmet off, and you see Pedro Pascal, and he had some great acting, just like without even talking.
It was so good. It was so good. Yeah, he was like, it was funny because like obviously we know that he like hasn't taken his helmet off in front of like anybody for like the majority of his life, and it's just kind of like, I don't know what you can compare it to, but it's like just that uncomfortable like awkwardness. He was just like emotionless because he didn't really know how to like emote his face, like emote with his face. So I just thought that was so funny. Like, and he was just like looking around. But,
also, the Creed isn't necessarily has anyone seen your face. They also add and lived. You know. Like, if they see your face, you're supposed to kill them. And obviously, at the time, he wasn't going to do that. Yeah. But we see... But yeah, so basically, Valen Hess walks up to him and is just kind of like, who are you? Like, what are you doing here? He asks for, like, his TK number, and obviously Mando has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So Miggs has to come in and kind of... He knows the lingo and stuff, so he has to come save the day. I think he says, like, he has a hearing issue.
Yeah.
They call him Brown Eyes.
Brown Eyes, dude.
Which I thought was funny, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
And so, so the Valen Hess is basically like, come on, sit down. Like, you guys did great. Or he's not that nice about it. He's kind of a dick, actually.
Yeah.
And he's got a southern accent.
I know, that was funny. Yeah, I noticed that too.
So yeah, basically they're sitting down, and I thought these shots were awesome. Like, between Bill Burr, Pedro Pascal, and Richard Brake.
Yeah,
I thought they just all did a fantastic job.
The moment was very where they sit down was very Inglourious Bastards to me. That bar scene.
I can see it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So Valen Hess and Bill Burr probably do most of the talking here, and or Miggs, sorry, jeez, and so Miggs kind of, I don't know, he just keeps building up this thing where like he's trying to get, or he's just trying to like basically tell Valen Hess that the Empire's messed up.
Yeah.
And all the stuff they do is messed up.
Yeah.
And Valen Hess just keeps adding to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting this right at all. I'm just stumbling on my words here. But here, you
I
can
think
take it.
I mean, this was like the moment where Bill Burr really shined. You could see him getting pissed off, and he started to tear up, which was so like, well, it was like very impactful. So they kind of reference a specific war. Did you write down the war they
Operation
referenced?
Cinder?
Yes, and that's
so.
From,
do you know anything about Operation Cinder?
That's from Battlefront.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's some weird stuff with that I want to talk to you about that I don't understand.
And it was in Aftermath, the Aftermath novel.
Yeah.
We haven't read any of the novels, but we're definitely we're starting to. We're gonna probably post some reviews and kind of talk about. Might have a little book club. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That'd be fun.
But anyways, but so obviously Bill Burr was there, and it seemed like it was a very emotional battle with a lot of like tough calls, and obviously a lot of people died, and Bill Burr Miggs definitely like experienced that and like had a lot of emotion behind that, and like as the conversation went on, it kind of like started to heat up, and you could tell like he's gonna snap, and
because Valen Hess just kept making it worse.
And then
because what happened in Operation Cinder was a lot of basically the Empire was destroying itself as well. And so a lot of Miggs's friends probably just died at the hand of the Empire, the people they served. And so Miggs was kind of mentioning that, and just Valen Hess he was leaning in and just kept making it worse. He was saying
twisting the knife.
It's all a sacrifice for the Empire, and then he was putting down the people that died. He's like, that's why we're still here today, or something like that. And so you can really see it on Miggs's face or Bill Burr's face, and he's just, he's getting all the emotions, and finally he snaps.
And
he just blasts the guy. Which I thought was awesome. And so that a firefight starts out in that room. And obviously they kill everyone because they're stormtroopers.
Right.
And so Mando does put the helmet back on, and Miggs is like, I never saw your face.
So he's the only one who saw his face.
Right.
So
because everyone else there died.
Right.
So no one. And we'll talk about what happens to Bill Burr when we get there. But so they start escaping through like a window area that's right above the dam. Which I thought was cool. We had Cara Dune and Fennec sniping off all the people on the roof.
It's a little that was cool. They're on like a cliff, and they were kind of shooting the troopers as they were coming out in the window and stuff. So that was a good moment. And so Mando and Miggs are just kind of like working their way out and up. And finally, Slave One comes down and just gets off, and they jump onto Slave One. And Miggs takes a cycler rifle and blasts the Rhydonium, and the whole compound explodes and destroys. Yeah, that was awesome. Cara Dune kind of catches wind of it, and she's like, all right, well, maybe there's something more to this guy. Because they were going back and forth earlier in the episode. And so, so this was so awesome. So there's a couple TIE fighters chasing them. And Boba Fett obviously knows how to take care of it. And the second they were behind them, I was like, oh, this is happening. You knew it?
And
you knew?
Oh yeah, I could tell with the shot from behind the Slave One. I knew exactly
I obviously could tell when I came out of the ship, but it
was just a matter of time before we got it. And so it was just two
the infamous sound,
2 TIE fighters, but the seismic charge drops.
Yeah.
And it goes silent for a second. Yeah, that was awesome, and they're destroyed.
That was the moment. That was probably like my favorite moment from the episode.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like just the perfect way to do
fan
service. Just sprinkle it in there,
a little sprinkle. Yeah.
So
that was cool.
The Slave One lands to pick up Fennec and Cara Dune. Miggs thinks he's going back to jail, but Cara Dune saw all the good deeds he did, and they were like, it's too bad Miggs Mayfeld died back in the compound.
Yeah.
And Mando's kind of like, oh yeah, that's really too bad. And I thought for some reason I couldn't stop laughing. It was like, dang, Miggs is just like here. He's just like alone here.
I know,
it's
just
Bill Burr in the wild.
They left him, and I was a little bothered by that because like this episode, like we had a lot of character development for Miggs himself, and I just don't know why he ended up not being a part of like Mando's crew for the finale.
It still
here.
doesn't
I don't know.
redeem him. I mean, it redeems him in our eyes, but Cara Dune is a New Republic officer.
No, I know.
She already bent the rules a lot.
That's true.
I don't think she can be riding around with a criminal,
That's a good point. Yeah,
and still keep her title.
Yeah, I just like was thinking like we had a whole episode about him and it just kind of like came and went. I don't know.
Yeah. But also on the record,
Mm-hmm.
he is a dead man. So everyone that saw Mando's face is dead.
Yeah, on the record.
So technically, no one saw Mando's face.
Yeah, that was a clever way of doing it. Yeah, they definitely kind of figured that one out. So,
and yeah,
that's cool.
So now they got all they need, and the episode ends with Mando's been cooking this lineup for a while on the hologram. We cut to Moff Gideon. And he just drops the biggest Star Wars diss of all time, and basically he says Moff Gideon's words almost verbatim back to him. But instead of saying it about the kid, he says he. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because when Moff Gideon's saying it,
I want.
Yeah. And when Moff Gideon says it, it's definitely coming from a place of like necessity, and he's like, I need this kid to get my job done.
Right.
But Mando's is coming from a like, I love this child.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Like
cute.
He means more to me than you know. Like that like is coming from a much more loving place, and Moff Gideon's is coming from a means to an end,
Definitely.
And so so that's the episode. That's the entire episode. It was like a 30-something minute episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. I really liked it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean obviously like I really am still wishing, since this show is like 8 episodes long, like this whole season is only 8 episodes. I kind of wish the episodes were longer. This was kind of one of the longer ones. But we've gotten like a couple of short ones in this season, but one of them being the Bo-Katan one, which was my second favorite of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
The entire show,
so that's the trade-off, is like some of the smaller episodes have been the best ones.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, no, I definitely this episode, I did love this episode. My only thing is, I just think in the grand scheme of the Mandalorian, like I think this is gonna be another one that's kind of forgotten. Cause
yeah, maybe.
Obviously,
depends on the next episode.
True. Yeah. I mean, like episode 2 of this season is kind of forgettable in the grand scheme of the whole season.
Yeah, but I feel like those are the episodes I might go back to,
You think so?
Like the ones that like you don't need to really have seen the episode before or after to love.
Right. No, I'm probably going to watch the whole season through
me
next
too.
week.
I want to watch the whole show through again, probably before next season.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but
so
yeah,
what?
I don't know.
So this opens a lot of doors for episode 8 of The Mandalorian season 2. Chapter 16 it will be.
Yes.
What do you think's gonna happen? What's going on?
I'm still on that Camino theory, and we made a video about it, so please check it out when we kind of go into explanation of it. I think it's happening, and we see the map. We see a map in this episode, in a charted course to where they're going next episode, and in that realm of that area on the galaxy map, Camino lies in that section. So
it's definitely in the general direction.
It's in the general direction. So please, Kamino is my favorite planet in all of Star Wars. So, I mean, we're seeing in the Bad Batch, which is looks so good. Anyways,
yeah, that'll be awesome.
But yeah. So this fingers crossed. Fingers
crossed.
You
look at like the hyperdrive routes, it does connect.
It connects
to Kamino.
It's all coming together.
That's a little sweaty, so we'll see.
I don't think it is. Really?
Maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. But
I don't think it is.
I just really want to see Kamino.
I do too. I love Kamino.
It would make way too much sense for them not to do it.
Yes.
For them to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I hope we get it.
Yeah.
Again, I really don't know what characters we're going to see, who's going to die, who's going to live, what the outcome's going to be. We really just don't have any idea.
Well, another thing that, like, I just don't see not happening, at least I don't know the way it's going to happen, but we're going to see Luke. There is no other possibility. We also made a video on that, so check it out, too.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So yeah, please check it out. We're not gonna go into too much detail on that because we already made a video about it. But there is just no possible way that it's not Luke.
I think we're gonna see Luke too. Yeah. I just don't know if we're gonna see him this season or next season.
I think it's
fingers crossed this season.
It's going to be a tease. We're not gonna see him full in the flesh. It's either gonna be a hologram. It's either gonna be like a low-angled shot of his like kind of hip and then his hand. And then he kind of whips out his lightsaber at the end or whatever. Maybe even a voice. I don't know. But
do you think? What if he just rolls up to Tython and no one's there?
Yeah, I know, isn't it? Yeah, it's just like
imagine we just get a shot of him like at the Seeing Stone. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like where'd everyone go?
Yeah.
It's gotta be him. I think we're gonna see him. I want to go to Kamino. I feel like we're definitely gonna get some cool ship action, some cool ship combat, a little more with the Slave One, and some ties around Moff Gideon's command cruiser. I feel like we're definitely gonna get that. I'm thinking I think that might linger over Kamino for a little bit, and I think they might crash land or something like that onto the surface.
Cool, yeah.
I do think we're seeing Bo. Bo's coming in. I'm pretty positive because, Katie Sackhoff, she's kind of teased that she's coming back. She just didn't say when. It's got to be again in this season. Like her storyline that was set up in episode 3 has to be. It's got to finish in the end of the season. So, I do think she's coming back. I do think she will be the one who duels Moff Gideon in the end. Mando might at first, but I think it'll end up being Bo at the end.
Let us not forget that Din Djarin is in desperate need of a new ship.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of, I don't know, maybe he'll steal some like crazy Imperial fighter or some cool ship. Or maybe he'll end up getting Slave One.
Who knows, the way he gets Slave One is sadly if Boba dies.
Yeah, which I don't know. Again, I
don't know if
part
I
of me
want
is
that.
like I don't see it happening, but another part of me is like they could do it.
They can, but I don't know if I want it. You know?
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, we just got him back, and he's going to he will be in a couple of not a couple, but well, it depends, but he will definitely be in some of the future projects that were announced. In the investors meeting, we also made a video on that. So please check that out. Breaking that down. So yeah, I think Boba will show up again. But anyways, I hope he doesn't die. I mean, I know if they do kill off Boba, it'll be like a good moment. It'll be a sad moment. It'll be a very sad moment. But I just feel like I don't know if we've really gotten enough like character development for him. Like obviously we've seen him outside this show. Yeah, I don't know. They could do it.
The only way it makes sense to me is if they do the Boba Fett show. That's a prequel to this series.
Yeah, that surprising was not announced at the That's just
which is kind of strange. I mean, we know it's in the works for the most part.
Yeah,
so
I don't know, but yeah, I'd be sad if he got killed off. Bo, I'm like, I'd almost bet on it that she's coming back in this episode or this week's episode now. What else am I thinking? I think the New Republic is gonna get involved. I think we're gonna see Carson again in some X-wings, hopefully.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Maybe at the
but they can't get involved
end.
too much,
right?
Because they still have to keep the fact that the New Republic really doesn't know about all the remnants of the Empire and how big they actually are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we remember again, Carson says that the core worlds aren't paying attention. Really to what's going on in the Outer Rim, and I think that was purposeful in kind of explaining, because I do think they're gonna get involved,
for sure
in this finale. At what capacity I don't know, but I think that they'll kind of continue that kind of like, oh, the core worlds don't really care right now, so that Thrawn, maybe in credit scene. The most we can get is a voice. I don't think we'll see him live in the flesh.
Or like a hologram, maybe.
Yeah. Who do you think's gonna? Have we talked about this? I can't remember. Who do you think's gonna?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. So there's Benedict Cumberbatch. I've seen some people say the guy that plays Homelander in The Boys. Maybe
Tony Starr. Yeah, I mean, he's such a good actor, but I don't know if I want him for Thrawn. I do. Yeah. It's possible that it would be Lars Mikkelsen who is the voice actor for Thrawn in Rebels. True. I think that could carry over very.
Does he look the part though?
Yeah, he's Mads Mikkelsen's brother. I don't know if you know who that is. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in Doctor Strange, Death Stranding. He's a really good actor.
Oh, he totally looks the part.
Yeah. So I think
he could totally be Thrawn.
Yeah, and I wouldn't see why they wouldn't use him, because obviously he voiced him. So, the best we can get is an end credit scene. Now that we know about the Ahsoka and the Rangers of the New Republic series, and this happening all at the same time, I feel like it's all kind of converging into Thrawn. And I do think we'll get seeds of him in every show. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of the big bad, maybe not the Thanos level threat, but a threat nonetheless.
He's always been the threat after the Empire falls.
Right.
So I think he's the man. Yeah. He's the one. He's gonna be the big bad.
Yeah. Which I'm totally on board with, but yeah.
Without getting into it too much, because we talked a lot about it in our Disney slate announcement episode or video. Yep. What is your one favorite thing coming out of Disney Star Wars within the next years?
It's such a close tie with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka. It's
you gotta choose.
It's neck and neck, dude. I can't. I've wanted. No, well, no. I guess I can't say that. I've. Damn. I don't know. That's like deciding. Ugh. It's like Ahsoka, but then it's like Hayden and Ewan again. And what if in Clone Wars flashbacks? I feel like we're definitely gonna get those. With the two of them in the Clone Wars armor.
That'd be pretty.
Damn, I don't know, dude. Either one.
The Hayden Christensen announcement put the edge on Kenobi for me over Ahsoka.
I'll go with Obi-Wan Kenobi right now because we have more details on it.
Okay, fair enough.
But the possibilities for Ahsoka are very, very, very high. Or
it's
good.
True. It's true.
So I'll agree with
Hayden
Kenobi
Christensen
right now, or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And they're weirdly alluding to. There's a couple things we can talk about here about Obi-Wan, and then we'll close out the podcast. Sure. But the Obi-Wan Kenobi show will 100% be featuring Hayden Christensen, and they say as Darth Vader. Ooh. And Kathleen Kennedy and Ewan McGregor and some other things have kind of alluded to that they're fighting, man.
Yeah.
That there's going to be some lightsaber clashing going down.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how. I don't know why. Doesn't really make a lot of sense if that's the case.
Yeah. We talked about it in our breakdown, so definitely check that out.
Yeah. But something new that has arisen from Kessel Run Transmissions. Who,
yes. Yep.
Let's see. They
been on the show.
What did they predict? Fan. They predicted the Bad Batch show. They got the Ahsoka coming into the Mandalorian, and I believe they got Boba Fett down.
I don't think they got Ahsoka.
Did they not?
No, I think that was.
They've gotten some things, and they're pretty reliable.
Yes. No. Oh my God, they've had amazing scoops. Yeah.
I mean, they're not. They wouldn't lie if they
no.
They heard this. They're very reliable.
They have good sources, which I hope one day we have some sources, but one day. Anyways, I guess if you want to introduce the.
And so they're saying our main clone, who knows how to bone, Cody, is coming in.
Our boy Cody. Show, he's not dead, everybody.
Would be so awesome.
Yep.
I'm so here for that. Mm-hmm. If basically, I predict this show is we're looking at Obi-Wan's point of view for the main part, but also Darth Vader searching for Obi-Wan for a while, and he's sending out a nice task force, maybe of Inquisitors, along with some troopers, and one of those troopers might be Cody.
Yeah, and I think he's going to be in the Bad Batch as well. I'm extremely positive about that. I feel like this show is going to basically, because I've wanted a Vader series for so long, like a Vader movie, Vader series, something like that. And I feel like this is going to be it. I feel like even though it's titled Obi-Wan Kenobi, I feel like it's just going to be as much about Obi-Wan that it is Anakin or Darth Vader, which is going to be something else.
And I think if they're not showing Hayden Christensen at all, what would be the point of casting him as Vader? Because it's not like he played him in Rogue One.
Right,
it's not like he's going to
have
the
voice. Helmet. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying flashbacks galore. We're gonna get so much of that. I think we're gonna get definitely some unsuited scenes or unmasked scenes at least.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he'll communicate.
Doesn't really
have
matter
this idea.
He's so fucked up.
I know. I have this. I have this idea that they're gonna just. They're gonna communicate through the Force, and Vader's gonna be in his BAFTA tank, kind of meditating, and we're gonna see Hayden and Ewan's in his Obi-Wan's in his, I don't know, his hut on Tatooine or something like that. It's just gonna, I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna have kind of a Rey Kylo Force dyad type thing where they can Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm so down for that.
The possibilities are endless, and a couple more things about the finale. If we are on Kamino, and this is more unlikely, I just don't see it happening again. If we get Ahsoka again, which I doubt, because, we've kind of had her story set up, and it seems like Episode 5 was definitely a setup for her series now that has been confirmed. If she comes back there for the finale, though, we gotta see Rex. Because Rex was one of the characters that was rumored, and we haven't seen him yet. And so far, all those rumored characters have been confirmed, or been in the show, obviously. Cobb Vanth, Boba, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan. He was up there on that list, so
that'd be a good way to set up the Ahsoka show. Yeah, is to give us Sabine and Rex.
Sabine and Rex. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, helping them out.
Yeah, I feel like we could get Rex still.
I want him.
Want
him
though so
he'd be
badly.
90.
You know what? I think it's been kind of funny. They've kind of been ignoring the kind of, the characters aging. I mean, look at Bo-Katan. Look at.
Yeah, but the clones are very
Right, they have. I know they have.
Bo-Katan is just
rapid
I don't know.
Growth.
She has kept herself looking nice.
Ahsoka too, but yeah. Ahsoka obviously doesn't look like 18 or 17 in the Clone Wars, but
yeah.
You know.
But yeah, I don't know.
I want it. I want it so bad. And the fan art, there's been so much fan art and edits of Rex as Tamora Morrison as Rex. And, Tamora Morrison has come out and say that he wants to play Rex multiple times. I just, again, I just don't see how they could not do that. It'd be a wasted opportunity.
I'd be so down for it.
I really want him in the show. I just feel like, still feel like Ahsoka is unlikely, given that her story is kind of set up, and I don't really see how she could fit, back into the finale,
Sure. Yeah.
So, there is a lot of possibilities, and boy, do I hope we're right. I want to be right with all of these things,
well, Yeah, I mean. If you say everything, at least one of them has to come
I know,
out.
and it better be it better be at least an hour. We've said that. I've talked to you about that before. I just like, the time thing has just kind of bothered me. I don't know, like fingers are truly crossed for that. I really hope it's at least an hour. For the finale, and they've been just saving up this big moment. Oh, I guess another thing. Do you think Dim will get Baby Grogu back?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be.
They're saving that. I think we're gonna end at a kind of low point.
Yeah, like this is gonna be the Empire Strikes Back season.
Yeah. Right.
Do you think if Bo comes back, do you think she'll get the Darksaber?
I don't know. I honestly think they're saving that storyline, like with Mandalore and who rules it, for season 3 or maybe even 4 for some reason. I think Moff Gideon's holding on to this Darksaber.
I still think she's coming back in this episode or this the finale.
She totally might.
I feel it.
I mean, they have a common enemy here, so they're probably both going after him.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think? You want to wrap it up there?
I think we're good to wrap. I'm trying to think, just kind of going through my library of theories, if I have anything else. Oh, well, season 3 for Mandalorian is announced next year.
Yes.
December of next year, which is hype.
Same time around, right? December.
Yep. So
I wish it was a little earlier.
Yeah.
Like, I like that this is ending before Christmas, but
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Star Wars and Christmas and the winter have always kind of been like, that's kind of been like a
and we'll have Bad Batch to hold us over.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
I want to say March, but given the Disney stuff, the Marvel stuff.
True.
Maybe they can do Star Wars and Marvel at the same time, but you never know. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
they have
Bad Batch,
experts
dude. Oh.
How to make the most money behind all this stuff, so I'm sure they'll do it well.
But dude, Bad Batch. We talked about it in our breakdown, so watch the video again, plugging it.
Yeah. Go watch that. We got some good theories, stuff like that. So.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. I just I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting. We got a couple more days or a few more days. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I hope we're right. I really hope we're right.
Me too, man.
Yeah. I think that's
right.
good. Yeah.
Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for checking out the podcast.
Thank you.
We do this weekly, Monday, 3 p.m., as it says right down there on the little bar.
Yeah.
We also make a bunch of other videos. We try to upload as much as we can, really.
Almost every day.
Hectic, but
almost every day we try to.
Yeah.
Yep.
We plan on we got a lot of projects in the works.
Yep.
So yeah, if you made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Yep.
And we will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.